it's been a real grind for Clapham's D-line in the second half. They've only got the one clean break so far in the second stage. Of course, they are 50% perfect conversions when they have managed to take the disc away and punch it in. Whereas all of Chevron's breaks thus far have been picture perfect, but they've squandered some opportunities here and there. Briggs through to Hillman. Thinks about the pop-up. But back to Briggs. Clapham doing a great job of finding these inside leading throws. Over to the break side, taking small windows. Big pressure being laid on Justin Ford from Steve Dixon. Through to Briggs. Again, just playing in tiny channels, but that pops out like a piece of breakfast toast.
Zipped in at a difficult angle for Ford to catch. Had to leave his feet slightly. Had to kind of tip over to the side to try and catch it in front of him. It was a really, really nice offense up to that point. I have to say, we were talking, or I was talking in the first half about Clapham struggling and kind of the cuts being made and people not being sure where to go and who's going into what space. Looks like they've ironed that out because the offense at the moment was looking really, really good until that final throw. Great bid as well by Steve Dixon. He's got 2 blocks already in this game, and he absolutely flew to try and get a third one there.
Williams bringing us back in, has Dixon underneath. Matchup staying exactly the same. Lovely inside, that's going to be redeemed by the pack, and Barak sneaks it through. I thought that was going to be Williams redeeming. A little bit of footwork required there from Seb Hart. Slightly ambitious layout from East, but you've got to have a go, especially in these stages, and there's just a cold drop from Steve Dixon.
It's a little behind him, but again, Dixon I'm sure would have expected to reel that one in. Considering the save from Barak as well, Dixon's tried to get it to Seb Hart, a little behind him, and Barak steamed in the stack and caught it.
Well, they had one error that was redeemed. Oh, big effort from Barak. Hand inches away from the disc. That's going to be way too far for Josh Briggs. Seb Allen picks up quickly, trying to get things underway. Dixon underneath, but looked off. Nice one around to Williams. Solid work from Conor McHale in the deep space, just sheltering things. That was a poor choice.
Definitely a poor choice. Seb Allen did have steps on his mark, but Conor McHale had dropped a good 2 or 3 meters behind everybody in the stack. And then the disc was put out in such a way that Conor McHale had 100% position. Seb Allen was behind him the whole way. There was almost no chance he was going to be able to get to Conor McHale. Even if that disc hangs for another couple of seconds and they can both get there, McHale has prime position. So that's definitely one that Williams will wish he could have back.
Well, they've generated turnovers already in this point by playing some pretty intense match coverage. Big play almost from his own knees. Some kind of call upfield.
It's Ben Barak who's made the call, and I think he's saying that there was a push-off on the cut from McHale. The disc, certainly with Hillman, there was no issue up to that point. Seb Hart, kind of I think it was a half-hearted, I'm going to try it and see if I can put Hillman off, because I don't think there's any chance he was going to get there.
I think he was already falling over.
Perhaps,
and so he just kind of swiped with his hands, because they are stood pretty much directly over one of the muddiest patches of this field.
And you never know, swipe your hands, might get in his eye line or something.
That's just to spook him. On Hillman, not so sure. Of course, Andy Hillman, former D-line captain for Clapham. It looks like a potential forced middle here being played by Clapham, not Clapham, Chevron's match defense. Wilson, far side, Williams, looking very dangerous indeed, very tight mark as well. East racing away, Turner on the charge though and makes the clap catch to deny. This is a real battle of attrition right now. I have to think this is probably one of those points, Sean, where whoever puts this one in is going to take quite a lot of momentum going forward into the final moments here in finals. Barak opens up a big old risky biscuit. Easto reads it perfectly. Pops one across, uncorks it to Hillman, who waits patiently for that to bobble. Where was the wind going to take it? Ford. Noise and energy starting to really rise on the sidelines. Just dishing easily. Abrams on the far side now. No one going towards the deep space, and that one had way too much juice.
A little higher than Briggs was expecting. He's put his hands up. It's probably risen out of Abrams' hands as well, because Briggs probably would have jumped if it was at that level the whole way. So it's hit him in the hands. He might think he should have caught it. Would have been a very tough catch, I think. But this has been another very frantic point as we hear the hooter.
Well, all of the games here today on Sunday are played 1 hour and 20 minutes long. Just comes out late to heart, but all fine. Dixon this time is going to have a go at it. There's two defenders underneath. Can Justin Ford deny? No! He goes up too early, and it's Seb Allen to put it a game to 12. 11-10 Chevron action flash. Well, Sean.
Well. Another break from Chevron. A perfectly timed break. Messy point, lots of turnovers from both teams. As the disc goes up, it looked as though Seb Allen had space, had time, but Justin Ford has come off the back of the stack, come towards it, and you would have bet a lot of money, I would say, on Justin getting a hand on that. But Allen doesn't even bother going up to contest, waits to see what happens, has lots of space in the back of the end zone to reel that one in, scores it. 11-10 game to 12, and Clapham are the ones taking a timeout to gather themselves to try and score 2 points in a row here.
Well, absolutely, Sean. You do need to bring your heads together. The new leadership, perhaps getting some sage words from those who handed the torch over this season. I have to say, some of the old guard have been having an incredible game. I mean, Andy Hillman, certainly on the stats board, but just consistently applying pressure. Clapham's line management's been very interesting, that's for sure.
They've had offensive players out on pretty much every D-line in the second half. Coming into the second half down 8-6. Either Ford or Hillman or McHale, sometimes two, or once all three, have been on every D-line. Those three players are clearly the ones they're leaning on a lot. They've also been playing offense, been playing double duty. It would not be a surprise at all to see all three of them on this offense line, although Ford is coming to the sideline, maybe getting a break before the hoped-for final point. But it would not be a surprise at all to see Hillman and McHale and Ford on the final D-line. You would expect that they'll be on there. You would expect that Ashio is going to be on there. We'll see what it looks like, but this point is huge. This might be, trying not to overstate things really, but this might be the most pressure that Clapham have ever been under in a UK final. Because if they don't score here, they lose. I don't know how many times that's happened to Clapham in the UK.
Well, it's been 21 years. Of course, if you count the seasons that we didn't have UK nationals due to certain pandemic shutdown, it's been a long old time, longer than some of the athletes at this complex have been alive, Sean.
Some of the athletes on the field.
Dixon with the pole to get this all-important point underway for Clapham. McHale to Mead. The two working well. Hillman, of course. Not really much motion coming from downfield. A little bit of touching from Mead just to get himself away from Hart. Again, choosing really close spaces. That one, a nice, easy layout kept for Conrad Wilson. Whoa, that just narrowly avoided the flailing arm of Seb Allen. Hillman. Slinky inside shot again. These inside breaks are so ruthless. That one's got way too much air, but thankfully it's got the big arms, safe arms of Magnus Wilson, who puts the one that's reached up for by Connor McHale. Now that was a ripper with attitude out of the sky. An easy charge for Clapham. That's job number one done. But now it's Chevy's to give away.
We're so used to seeing Clapham kind of work things up so easily. There was a layout from Conrad Wilson on a throw that was a bit low. There was that fantastic grab from his brother, Magnus, over in the far corner. Connor McHale's had to lay out there. Seb Allen must have been centimetres away from getting that block as well on a dump. Honestly, it's a real Clapham being pushed right to the brink, having to put everything into all these things. And now this D-line is coming out, and it is going to be winner takes all. Winner takes all on this point. Clapham, I said earlier, I wouldn't be surprised to see them put on the big names. Hillman, McHale and Ford are all on. Mead has also come across from the D-line. This, in fact, looks like one of the power lines you would have seen from Clapham for years. Ollie Gordon's on there as well. Ashio's on there. Conrad Wilson comes out. He played D for GB at EUC. For Chevron, We've got Rodri Williams, who's been playing a lot of D, but he's coming out on the offensive line. Criddle, Sweetenham, Depp Cartwright, Hodgett, Morell, and Colthammer. Very, very strong line from Chev. A lot of players have been playing very well. Morell has been absolutely phenomenal in this game. He's been really good in this tournament, but in this game alone, he's got a goal, 5 assists, and a block. He's been so good in this game. Really generated a lot of offense and pushed Chevron to this position to get into a universe point.
Well, 2 clean holds for the offense of Chevron in the second half. They've seen their lead that they earned so well in the first stages be slowly dissolved by the heat and pace of Clapham. But can they do it here? Can they put this one in the history books? Cartwright has Colthammer. Confident dish. Hodgett across to Sweetenham. Morell in the centre. There is the grind, and there's so much separation. Gordon underneath it. Can he play? It's from behind for Williams, and Chevron Action Flash are your new UK champions in the Open Division. Oh my goodness gracious me. That was a game.
What a game. What a spot from Ethan Morell. He comes under, gets the disc. Criddle comes behind Ollie Gordon, gets his back, the disc goes up. Ollie Gordon looks the favourite the whole way, goes up too early, and Rodri Williams, one of the young leaders of this team, was one of the best players for GB's Under-24 Open team, did a great job for GB Open at EUC as well. Backing it up, catches a historic point. Chevron, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, has been the phrase for such a long time. But Chevron are going to be going home with the UK Nationals trophy for the first time in their history. Clapham have never lost at UK Nationals until right now. Congratulations to Chevron Action Flash, your new UK National champions.